Welcome back to Elevation Perspective. My name is Mark, joined tonight with Dan and Frank talking about the Mets. Another bad week for the Mets, 2-4 week. Lost two out of three from the Reds, lost two out of three from the Phillies. Last two games in Philly was on national TV, got absolutely embarrassed, destroyed. The record is now 34 and 43, back to 9 games under. It's June 22nd. We're definitely running out of time here. The vibes are really bad. They've been bad all season, but I feel especially now.
I feel
We're
like this hit you especially hard this week, and I want to know what's different this week than I know we had like a few 500 weeks, but this we were 2-4 this week. Like we were only one game worse. So what is hitting you the hardest right now that you're like, okay, this is officially feels like it's really, really bad now.
I don't think they're a good team. I haven't thought they're a good team since around opening day. But at some point, you just think naturally, like, they're going to start winning some games. Like, you're going to eventually have a good week thrown in the mix there. I don't know the last good week. It was probably that Yankee Tiger week, like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever that was ago. They just go 500 or under 500 every single week. They're back to 9 under. I mean, also, because it felt like they were getting some sense of momentum when they took that last game. Nolan looked really good against the Reds. You beat the Phillies in a gutsy win. Sean Manaea pitches really well. It's like, all right, we're feeling good about ourselves. You got two cracks. It is Christopher Sanchez and Zach Wheeler. They're two of the best pitchers in the sport. But you got two cracks to win a series in Philadelphia. Kind of pick yourself back up before Lindor comes back. Like you paint the picture, and they just got absolutely killed again. And it's a disaster.
So if they win yesterday night, you're feeling good about this team.
I'm feeling a lot better, and that's probably not right. That's probably
Okay.
not right to have
Fair
one
enough.
more win and one less loss to be like, no, this is actually good. But I think there's just something about like winning a series, especially in Philadelphia. The Phillies are playing really good baseball right now. Something about just winning a series, keeping afloat, because that's what we were doing. We were going 500 for week after week after week, and it didn't feel good. But it was like, all right, eventually we're going to get these guys back, and these 500s are going to turn into a 3-2, into a 4-2, into a 5-2 week, and just like that, you can kind of get yourself back into it. But it's like I think like you're alluding to, it's probably not right that that one loss made me feel that way. I think it was just how it happened. Like those two games in Philly were embarrassing. The games were over in the first and the second inning. Freddie Peralta let up 10 earned runs. We'll talk about it, but it's just you're sitting there. It's like, all right, Christopher Sanchez versus Freddie Peralta. Obviously, Sanchez is better, but Peralta is an ace or a number two in the sport. Like he should be able to keep you in the game and see what can happen. He let up 10 earned runs in 2 innings, so it's really bad. Dan, chime in. How you feeling?
I mean, as long as we run out the starting pitchers that we do, it's hard to really see things changing. Obviously, Peralta has had a really bad stretch these last handful of starts. Early on, he just wasn't going deep into games, but he was at least keeping you in them. Now he's just not even keeping you in them. So that's really tough to overcome with his team. And any game that you start David Peterson, you're not going to feel good. Any game that you start as a bullpen game, you're not going to feel good. So yeah, not to beat a dead horse, but like all these guys, like you wanted Clay Holmes to be a guy this year, and that went down. Christian Scott looked really good lately, and then he went down, and it's just like they don't have capable starting pitchers to keep you in these games, and it's pretty evident the way these last couple of games went.
You know who needs to be beat? David Stearns. That's who needs to be beat because they decided that this pitching staff was good enough going into this season. And I think the farther and farther away that we get like from the start of the season, you just go, how? There were so many question marks. And yes, Clay Holmes got hurt. How many games would they be better if Clay Holmes didn't get hurt? Three, maybe 3 games better,
Yeah.
right? Like,
All it takes is one, and Mark would have been feeling great. Imagine what if
yeah,
three games
that's
better.
true. That is true. If Clay was healthy, Mark wouldn't be in the
It
position that he's in.
that hurts a
But
lot.
like,
I
but
mean,
like,
it goes back to Senga and Peterson.
Yeah.
but they went in with those guys
That
like
was the
Manaea's
problem. That was the
Manaea's
problem.
pitching well right now, and they didn't they put him in the bullpen. They didn't expect him to pitch well. They went in with these five guys and were like, yes, this is it. This is the formula. We're gonna spend $360 million on the team. This is gonna be the rotation. It's not a blunder. A blunder is something you make and it's like it blows up in your face. This is way worse. Like this is so bad. Like I don't know. You just look at all the moves that this team made and they pushed every wrong button. The only thing that they did right was probably the Nimmo for Simeon trade. And it didn't, it's not even like that's like a victory lap that we can take. It's just we're gonna get off the books quicker. That's really all it is. Nimmo doesn't look that great. We're gonna get it. Like that's the only right move. Jeff McNeil looks like a productive player at times. We could have probably used him more than we used some of these guys. Like it is what it is. But we gave him away for nothing. So I would have rather have him than give him away for nothing. We let Pete Alonso walk. Pete Alonso officially having a way better season than Vientos, than Polanco, than Beatty. So we could say all we want about Pete. It's just Every move we made was the wrong move. It's all bad. It's all so bad. I don't know how Mendoza still has a job. I don't know how Stern still has a job. I don't know how Steve Cohen goes to bed at night and says, yes, this is the guy that's going to lead us into the future. He's about to make the trade deadline moves, and I'm petrified of what this man thinks is the right move. And you can't be any other way after this was a just we keep talking, right? Like, oh, this was the season David Stearns got to really put his imprint on this team. This is the imprint he put on this team. It's awful. It's might be one of the worst facelifts of a team in any sport ever. Like, truthfully, from last year to this year. It's so bad, and I know we thought some of it was going to work out, and he definitely got unlucky with some of it, but he didn't get unlucky with all of it. And at some point in time, winning matters. Winning has to matter. Or what are we doing this for?
Yeah, no, I think you hit it on the head there, where there's definitely a lot of things you could point out here and be like, that shouldn't have happened. That's not David Stearns. Like, that is, I don't know what the hell Bo Bichette's doing. I don't know what the hell Freddie Peralta's doing. These are two really good players. You can get on to more about the complimentary pieces, about the Jorge Polancos, about the Luis Roberts, so on and so forth. But it's a combination of unlucky and just terrible decision making. In terms of David Stearns, I think the conversation is going to happen quicker than we thought it was in terms of is he going to be here for the long haul? Mendoza's gone. Mendoza, for some reason, they're writing this out. I don't know why, but it doesn't matter anymore. We talked about this where if you wanted to make the move, make the splash back in, I don't know, May, whenever it might have been, but doesn't matter now. He's a lame duck. He is a free agent at the end of the season. He's almost certainly not coming back. I don't know what happens to David Stearns, but I don't know. I thought maybe like Monday, like maybe Mendoza gets fired. Maybe we do something different. It's just we're just doing the same thing over and over. Zach Short, Eric Wagaman, we're doing the same thing over and over again. And we're expecting a different result, and that is what insanity is. And that's where we are. Dan, you brought up a little bit David Peterson, Senga. We talked about that as well. How probably shouldn't have gone into the season with both of those guys as two of the five pieces and just banking on them, but we did. Senga came back from the injured list against the Reds, 4 innings, 4 earned to keep his ERA on pace for a 9 on the season. So good job, Kodai. You didn't lower your ERA, you didn't raise it. And David Peterson, I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know why this is still a thing. Got absolutely destroyed, like I said, in the Sunday Night Baseball game. Got killed by the Reds on Monday. He's a free agent at the end of the season. He's a guy who's been awful for like a full MLB season now because it was the second half of last year and the whole first half of this year. So he's got an ERA over 6, a 6.09 ERA. I don't know why we're doing this, why he's still getting opportunities, why don't we don't call up any of these other people just to try. I know they're not pitching great, but what do you have to lose giving Jonathan a shot, giving Jack Winninger a shot? Like, are you not afraid of hurting their development right now? They're like, yeah, we'll just keep throwing David Peterson. He's gonna get killed every game, but who cares? Like, what are we waiting for?
Yeah, I mean, I think it, like I said, it just comes back to you don't have enough bodies. I guess with these kids, like realistically, if Jonathan comes up and he starts pitching like kind of well, or like Weniger comes up and he starts pitching well, the way this team's going, that's not saving your season. Sure, you could, it would give you a spark and you'd hope he can start turning things around. But I mean, where they're at right now, I don't think would that really take priority over letting them develop the way you want them to.
But they can show you if you have a guy for next year. You know you don't have
That's
David Peterson for next year. He doesn't matter
yeah,
anymore. He should not matter for the current or the future. He is gone. So
yeah,
at
no, they
that
don't
point,
need
why are
to
you
do it.
wasting innings to find out what this guy is when, listen, if Tom comes up here and gets killed a couple times, send him back down. But like, give him a chance. Why not?
Haven't they done that though? Haven't they already
He's
gotten up
gotten
here?
like he got like a few bulk outings. Like he hasn't gotten a real run.
Yeah. He hasn't had a great year in AAA. So just talking about Tom specifically, I feel like, especially he's so young too. I think that's probably a case where you're better off letting him develop. Maybe like a Weniger and Santucci. I don't know exactly how their seasons are going off the top of my head. Maybe they're guys you consider in that spot, but like I said, it's not like they're close right now. So I don't know if you'd say like, okay, development be damned. Let's get these kids in here. And especially the way bodies are dropping, do you even risk like Peterson's all right? At least he's taking the mound and not like breaking a limb or something. So just throw a guy out there that you know you can put. I mean, he's losing games, but at least he's not dying out there somehow. There's no good answer here. That's the thing. Like there's bad and there's worse. Is kind of where they're at.
I just feel like they're sitting around and they're waiting, and then Lindor's gonna come back, and like they're just waiting, and they're sitting there and praying that like it doesn't matter, we're out of it. But they have like an above 500 last 2 months of the season, and then Stearns could go to Cohen and be like, look, see, like when everyone was healthy, it all worked out, and it was great, and it's just like it's a joke. They don't do anything right. Take a swing on another pitcher. I'd rather them literally pick somebody up off the scrap heap than let David Peterson get another chance. You know what I mean? You see, guys. Look at Sean Manaea. It's happening in our own rotation, right? A guy that we thought was out of the rotation. Mark and I were going back and forth the first few weeks that we were doing this podcast, saying, I don't know how this guy stays on the team. They're going to drop him next year. Now Manaea's turned himself into a serviceable pitcher. He's arguably our second best pitcher right now. Actually, I don't even think it's arguable. He might be our first. He might be our ace right now. He's been the most consistent guy. So just give somebody else a shot. It's not working with David Peterson anymore. Just give somebody else a shot. Whether it's a kid, whether it's literally someone you just pick up. They're just. I think that's the frustrating part. They're losing and they're just so content with doing the same things over and over again and just losing. And that's the painful part. Like, you drop Wagaman and somebody else and then pick up a new bat and that guy doesn't work. All right, at least we tried. You let somebody else pitch instead of David Peterson, at least we try. But you're not trying and you know you're getting the same results. And that is the killer here. That's what's making this horrible. We're sitting here in June and I'm thinking that David Peterson's still going to be pitching for us at the end of August. As long as he's healthy, he's going to keep going out there, and that's horrible. That's terrible, and what that shows your fan base is don't even show up to the ballpark.
You brought up Lindor, Frank, previously. He's likely back on Wednesday, they're saying now. I think that's crazy. I think that's kind of a mistake, honestly, because he missed 2 full months with this calf injury that was pretty significant. It feels very rushed to me that he's back after 3 or 4 rehab games where I know like shutting him down is obviously not an option, but I feel like this is something we should be really careful with and not bring him back on Wednesday, but I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, I'd say a team that's willing to run Sangam and Peterson out there every fifth day is not in a rush. So if he's going to be back on the field, I have to imagine he's ready. Also, if I
Fingers
remember
crossed,
right,
right?
when he got hurt in 21 and missed like a month and a half or 2 months, whatever it was, I don't remember if he even played rehab games after that. So the fact that he's actually going through the process of playing like rehab games and getting like a week's worth of reps seems like, I mean, he's only had like one real IL stint in his whole career. But I feel like he's usually the kind of guy that like the day he's ready to go, he's like, all right, put me back in. So it doesn't to me seem like they're rushing anything. Obviously, they didn't really talk about the nature of the injury the whole time, so we don't have a typical timeline to go with. But there's nothing that I've seen personally that makes me think they're kind of rushing it. I think it just happened to recover quickly, which is good for this team that desperately needs it.
Dan, what do you think happens here with David Stearns? I know you've been kind of the guy who's been like, he's fine, he's safe. Do you think just definitely another year, no matter what, he gets this offseason, this trade deadline, and we go from there? Like, what do you think happens here?
Yeah, I don't think they're moving on. I feel like Steve Cohen's always wanted someone to step in and kind of just restructure this team, which again, I will say right now, the day he got here in 2023, that team was in a much worse spot. There was not a lot going well, and they were all very old. So we got a pennant run that had no business happening, and it's been downhill since. But I'll still say this team right now is in a better spot than they were at the end of the 23 season because they were old, bad, with no farm. So if you look at from day one to where they are now, the team's in a much better spot. This sucks right now, but the team's in a better spot.
I don't disagree with you. He's definitely made great strides. Like behind the scenes, you hear a lot of great things about his hires, like the farm directors, the different coaching, pitching lab, the minor league system's a lot deeper and better. But at the same time, like you can't really say he's done well.
Like when you just sense like what's going to happen, like I don't think Cohen's going to fire him. I think that's a huge mistake because the guy has now had, I've never seen somebody get more excuses made for them, truthfully. Like he took that pennant run was a team where Dan just said he added 3 guys, and yes, they were three productive guys, but the rest of the team was not his doing whatsoever. Then we run back that same team. He gives outrageous deals to more pitchers. We lose like embarrassingly in the 11th hour of the season. And then okay, you know what? It's not his team, so he gets that excuse, even though he gets all the credit for bringing that team where they were the year before, but it's not his team. Fine. So now rebuild it in your image, David Stearns. And when you rebuilt it in your image, my God, we're yearning for the team that missed the playoffs by 1 game last year. I wish we had Pete Alonso botching balls and hurting our pitchers at first base. I wish we had everything that happened last year happening again because my God, it was at least so much better than this. This is just the epitome of brutality. So I don't really know what to say anymore about Stearns. I don't want him back. I think he'll be back. I think they'll find a way to pin this on injuries and they'll find a way to pin this on Mendoza. It's not any of their fault. It's David Stern's fault. He is the number one reason this team is bad. The farm looks great, and hopefully, when he's gone, the person that knows how to spend our money can combine that with the great farm system that David Stern's put into play, and we can actually win at the major league level instead of cherishing all of our prospects that might not be any good anyway.
We're all in agreement that we all believe David Stearns will still be running this team this offseason. At some point, though, I feel like there has to be consequences for your actions, and we're seeing last year it was, oh my gosh, that is so embarrassing. You missed the playoffs. That can't happen again, and they are significantly worse. And this is his vision. He changed the team drastically, and they're going to win like 75 games. So it's really bad. It's really bad. At some point, I don't know what that point is. Maybe Cohen has a number where it's like, by year 4, by year 5, you got to be great, and maybe he will be. You got to assume no at this point, but maybe he will be. But at some point, there has to be consequences for your actions. He's done a bad job. Objectively, he's done a bad job to this point. Yeah, a lot of
I,
a lot
yeah,
of
I
talking.
could keep going, but
We could go all
yeah,
day. And like this, like I said, like I just want to make the
yeah.
points that Dan's making are very valid, and I don't disagree with all of them. And like I
Mhm,
said, like I'm glad he has his opinion because it would be
mhm.
very easy for him to just pack it up and agree with, like I said, he's the only person left, literally the only person I've heard supporting David Stearns. So, well, I hate that he's that stubborn. I also appreciate that he's that stubborn too, that he's sticking by his guy.
No,
So,
I was
Dan made a very good point that the organization is currently in a better spot than it was when he got here. But at the same time, you got to do a better job. You have an unlimited
yeah.
amount of money. You have any player you want at your disposal, and this is the team you put out there. And yes, injuries, underperformance, we all know the story. We've heard it a million times. But at some point, you got to blame the guy making the decisions.
It's a fair amount of both where he should be better, but these injuries the last couple of years have been absolute killers. Like too bad to ignore. Like again, we're about to hit July. We've had a week's worth of games from our two Hall of Fame position players. Like that's really tough to overcome. And Clay Holm, who would have thought we signed the Yankees closer to put him in our starting rotation and he was great. And then he gets to come back into the leg and he's gone. Just like that. There are some bad moves that he's made. Definitely. Like any GM will probably do over the course of their career. But these injuries have been so brutal. It's not like you're losing, like, oh, you just lost your backup third base. Like, no, you're losing really important guys. And last year, too, like, we lost the whole rotation. That was so bad. It doesn't make the bad moves, like, just completely okay. Like, it doesn't make Frankie Montas just like, oh, who, like, yeah, it happens. It's fine. Like, no, that was a bad move. But it's not like these injuries are just like, ah, yeah, you lost a guy here or there, but you couldn't fix it. Like, no, these are really big injuries that they're getting the last couple of years.
Let's talk about last week's predictions. Our three props. Number one, Albie and Jared Young, 1.5 home runs. We all took the under. They had zero, so good job on us. We all grabbed the point. Frank, you won't be fist pumping anymore after that one. Next up here, Bo
no, that
Bichette.
was a zero, not a fist pump.
Oh, I thought you were
Oh,
excited for the
I
That was
point.
a
thought
zero.
I
No,
was
I'm not
about
excited. Our
I was about to
players are
fist pump with you. I was like,
terrible.
yeah,
That was a
brother, we
zero.
got it.
All right, next up here, Bo Bichette, 5.5 hits. Dan and I took the over. Frank took the under. Bo had 6 hits. So ever so slightly, just got over there. He had like a 3-hit game against the Reds that really helped out. Finally here, Nolan McLean pitching into the 6th inning. Dan and I took the over. Frank took the under. So Dan and I get 3 points this week. Frank gets one. The new total is Mark 22, Frank 20, and Dan 19. Dan, you're back to that Morabito point being the difference between you and Frank.
Yeah, no, this is a good week for me, so I can let it slide, but we'll revisit it.
That's
We'll
crazy. After the week that we had, I took all three unders. I was expecting to come back here with 3 points, but
And they were terrible again, just
yeah,
those
they were.
those
we
props
took the
were
wrong guys.
7 games at home with the Cubs and the Phillies. Rained out on Monday, so we have a doubleheader on Wednesday. Two teams that are definitely better than us. It's not going to be pretty, most likely. Prop number one, Francisco Lindor, 1.5 hits. Frank, you can go first here. We're thinking Lindor comes back Wednesday. Probably sits out one game, you'd assume, over that 4 games or so he's back. Does he get 2 hits this week?
2 hits in 3 games. I'll take the over. I'll do it. And I'm gonna take one before you guys get the chance to block me out of taking overs with your optimism. I will take the over. At this point, it's just we need it. Like, please. That's all. That's all I got. You know.
Dan, Francisco Lindor, 1.5 hits this week.
Yeah, I'll take the over too. I mean, if it's still Wednesday, I mean that's going to be a double header now. You know he's not playing both games, but still, couple hits. That's going to be a nice a nice jolt to the lineup. So why not take the over?
I'll take the under. I'll say he goes under here. Maybe he doesn't make it back. Set back tomorrow. Something happens to him. I don't think he gets 2 hits this week, so I'll take the under there.
Took a dark turn. Couldn't just go over.
I
Mark's
mean,
got like this
listen,
dark cloud above his.
I don't want to listen. Like I said, I know they can't physically shut him down because like you can't do that optically, but like you're playing for nothing. You're 32. You're a really important player on this team. Maybe you're auditioning for a trade. Who knows? But at the same time, I feel nervous that he's coming back.
And that Sunday, that game really took a toll on you, man.
They're 9 under in June 22nd.
Uh,
Season's over on June 22nd.
yeah.
I have to watch.
Yeah, 7 under, and that team is cooking, but nine
I have to
under
watch 3 more months of this team. That's it's tough. All right, next up here, it's kind of a funny one, kind of not. We have the 7 games against the Cubs and the Phillies at home. I'm gonna set the win total, Dan, at 2.5 wins. Can this team go 3-4 next 7?
Yeah, I'll give them three. Yeah. Gotta imagine they split the doubleheader. It's hard to sweep a team in a doubleheader. I don't care who's playing who. Don't want to dive into the other two, but yeah, 3 wins. Let's do it. Why
I
not?
don't know. We definitely get one of. We probably get Wheeler again. I'm trying to think how the pitching works out.
Yeah, that checks out. But we also probably get Nola again, right? No, we don't. He should get the last game of the series before. Yeah, this might be a rough week.
I'm gonna
I
take the
said
over
over though.
too,
Yeah, I said it. So
just because it's yeah, go 3-4, you assholes. But I mean, listen, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they went 2-5, but I'll say they go 3-4 also. Frank, do you have a 2-5 in you, or are you gonna take the
Yeah, I
over?
think I have a 1-6 in me. I'm gonna take the under.
You gonna take the under 2.5 wins?
Yeah, I'll take. That
we split in that
sounds.
doubleheader.
That's so sad. Yeah, we're gonna take the under in this camp. I can't take the over with you two taking the over. As we've had that problem so many times. But I'm almost glad you both took it because I know what's gonna happen here. You guys know too. You just don't want to admit it. But go ahead.
I mean,
No,
3-4
captain's
is a
back,
bad
team is
week.
back.
3-4 this week would feel like a good week. I don't know.
Team's terrible. And the last and final prop for today, Freddie Peralta, 2.5 earned runs his next start. Does he bounce back? I'll say no. I'll say over 2.5 earned runs against his start with the Cubs. I think Pete Crow Armstrong is about to have a generational series. I think we're going to look at like 4 home runs, 10
Mhm.
stolen bases, like 17 web gems. I think this guy's WAR numbers are going to go up at least like 2 points. He's going to go from like a 4 to a 6 WAR over these 4 games in Citi Field. And Freddie Peralta over 2.5 earned runs. Dan, what do you think?
I think this is your most depressing episode yet. I'll go 5 innings, 2 earned. Why not?
Okay, Dan will take the under there.
Yeah, you,
Frank,
you have enough pessimism for like five, so somebody needs to turn the tide.
You could have set this at 4.5, and I was taking the over. Yeah, I'm taking the over. A quality start. He could get a quality start and still lose this, but
he's got to have like 2 qualities on the year, right?
I
Like,
don't. I don't. He goes up
Hmm.
there every day, and I'm like, oh, can't get worse than that. He'll come back better next time. This time, the last time he went out there, I was like, all right, it actually can't get worse than that, but maybe it can. I don't know.
the worst part about it all is he is both killing our season and killing his trade value. So
Yeah,
if he was pitching well right now, I'd be like, you know what, silver lining, we're going to cash out Freddie and get a nice return. I mean, we'll get something, but who's giving us anything of value for this player right now? They said he was the 50, he's like the 60th out of 66 qualified starters. His ERA is up to 4.9 now, obviously inflated from the 10 earned runs, but still, like, he's having a bad season regardless of that Philly start. So it's just, I don't know what they get. I mean, they're not going to recoup the Brandon Sproat, Jet Williams trade value. Those players aren't playing well, but like the way those two prospects were viewed in the industry, they're not going to come close to that, I don't think. Maybe one of those guys. I don't know.
what else could we possibly say?
No, Mark
I think
needs to go to
I think we
bed. I
said a
think
lot.
something switched from this week
Listen,
specifically.
all they have to do is go 5-2 against the Cubs and Phillies. They'll probably do that, and then we're back in.
Yeah, sure.
All right,
Ah,
let's go Mets.
Let's go Mets.
hell yeah.